Hello, hello. So we are now on chapter 18. We are very nearly at the end of our book. That makes me very sad, but it's also such an achievement to have finished a book in this time. Okay, so let's go. This chapter is called It Ain't Over Till It's Over. The next morning, Joe slid down the fireman's pole, letting out the traditional squeal as he went. He was in a good mood, a really good mood, for someone who was about to lose their job. Who's for a game of tag team Kaplunk? Joe called out to no one in particular. Sir, Jenkins poked his head around the door of the cabinet room. What about Violetta? Oh, I don't want to play Kaplunk with her, Joe cringed. No, Prime Minister, Violetta's waiting, Jenkins said, tapping his watch. Of course, yes, you're right. Matters of national importance. Kaplunk later. Joe walked down the hall to meet Violetta. AJ caught Joe up on the way and fell into step by his side. Violetta was waiting next to the front door with an evil look in her eye. Oh no, you're even more annoying than Perkins, Violetta sneered AJ. What? Why are you here? Just wanted to see it with my own eyes. AJ smiled calmly, staring at Violetta. If you'd like to come this way, Violetta, said Joe, gesturing for her to follow him into the cabinet room. Violetta took one look at the fireman's pole and jelly-eating facilities and shuddered. Ghastly! It'll all have to go. She turned to Joe and got a pen out of her jacket pocket. I hope you're not going to embarrass yourself by dragging this out. Just sign the papers and go home. Jenkins, will you take AJ to wait in the other room, please? Joe asked. Of course, sir. If you need me, just call. You have your phone on you, don't you? Joe tapped his pocket. Yes. Joe led the way into the cabinet room, put his phone on the side, and loosened his tie. Since when did you start wearing ties? Violetta asked. Oh, I don't really. It just goes with the suit. That's your problem, Perkins. It's all just dressing up to you, isn't it? It's all about pretending and having fun. What's wrong with fun? Fun is pathetic and weak. Who needs fun when you can make money? Violetta smirked. But what really gets to me the most, what really makes me sick, is the fact that you are just a kid. Kids disgust me. Grotty little turnips with their sticky hands and runny noses. I hate their horrid faces and their stupid laughs. When I'm in charge, we'll see if they feel like laughing after 18 hours of school every day. But you can't. I can do what I like, Violetta shouted triumphantly. Joe stood back while she started pacing the floor. And that's just the start. When the Anti-Silliness League comes to power, you can wave goodbye to playtimes, drawing, singing, books, and happy endings. All gone. 18 hours of lessons a day and into the workplace aged 12. Every park in the land will be concreted over. Trees too and beaches. Everywhere that children find fun, I'll destroy and build more factories to make me rich. I'm not like you, Joe. I didn't come here with a vague plan of having fun and dressing up a bit. I'll do what I want, and there's nothing you can do to stop me, Violetta laughed loudly. But what about the Anti-Silliness League? You need their support. I know they don't like me, but do they really want to see children being sent out to work? Joe asked, scratching his head. They're just a sneeveling bunch of busybodies. I own them. I could tell the world what you're planning. What then? Do you think they'll believe a grown-up or a child? One who can't even jump on a bouncy castle without it exploding. By the time I get into power, it'll be too late. I'll have the best team around me to ensure that I get exactly what I want. Joe leant against a bookcase thoughtfully. Actually, I was thinking about that bouncy castle the other day. How did it pop exactly? All it takes is a sharp pin and a good disguise, excellent timing, and kaboom! So it was you who sabotaged the reopening of the park, even the poo in the sand pit. I orchestrated the whole thing, and then I took a picture of you. To sell to the papers. But good luck trying to prove it. Perhaps you can make another YouTube video about it. See how well that goes. YouTube? Joe laughed. Oh, I've moved on from that. Do you know the great thing about mobile phones? Is they're not even really phones. Joe picked his phone up from the side. I mean, take mine for instance. It's also a camera. You can even film stuff on it. What? Violetta hissed. You see this? Joe said, pointing to the red flashing light at the bottom of his phone. Smile. You're on TV. Violetta's eyes grew wide, and she tried to snatch the phone from Joe's hand. Give me that phone! I'm going to destroy it, and then I'm going to destroy you! Bit late for that, I'm afraid. We fixed a live feed from the phone to the laptop, which is being streamed to every news channel in this country. So much more impressive than making just another YouTube video. Don't you agree? Joe grinned. Guys, you can come in now. The doors opened, and in walked Jenkins, AJ and Joe's mum. No, it can't be done. Oh, come now, Violetta. All you need to do is set up a basic Wi-Fi signal that you can have. You can beam to every internet interface of every broadcaster in the country. It's a simple binary relay system using encrypted code sent through a Wi-Fi network, said AJ, smiling. Are you in on this, Jenkins? Violetta spluttered. Just because one wears a Windsor knot doesn't mean one is too old to get a basic grasp of encrypted mobile technology. Isn't that right, AJ? You the man, Jensky. Why, thank you, Mr. Patel, and you are indeed my brother from another mother. Is that how one says it? That's funny. By now, Violetta, your speech should be all over TV, said Joe. Jenkins grabbed a remote and turned the TV on, and there it was, the phone footage of Violetta's speech on every channel across the network. But, I thought you were on my side, Jenkins, Violetta screeched. Yes, I was rather proud of my performance, Jenkins replied coolly. I used to act as a young lad at prep school. They still talk about my bottom all these years later. AJ fell on the floor laughing. Jenkins sighed and rolled his eyes. AJ, Bottom is a character in a play called A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare. Honestly, the youth of today. We had a deal, Jenkins, Violetta whimpered. I saw your anti-silliness badge. I spent a long time in politics, Violetta, and I've served many prime ministers, some good, some less so. I thought I was happy doing that until Joe came along. You see, he showed me that there are more important things in life than approval ratings and big business deals. Joe taught me that being kind, having empathy, and wanting people to enjoy themselves. These are the things we should all treasure. Being Prime Minister is about looking after your fellow countrymen and women, not forcing them to look after you, Jenkins sparked. You don't belong in office, Violetta, you belong in jail. Thank you, Jenkins, said Joe, looking a little teary. Jenkins told me about your little scheme. When he said I should resign, I was taken aback, until he told me the reason why. We had to make you believe you'd won. We had to wait for the right moment, wait until you thought I was backed into a corner, and then all I had to do was press record and burst your bubble. Kaboom! There's a nice policeman outside who wants to talk to you about the money you're planning on making from selling off all the parks, as well as the criminal use of fake dog poo. Still, prison won't be that bad after all. I've just introduced a few new rules, like joke-telling classes and balloon animal lessons, to teach people how much nicer it is to have fun rather than commit nasty crimes like embezzlement and fraud. You'll never take me alive, yelled Violetta, as she made a mad run for the open window. Jenkins gave a short whistle, and the policeman came in, pulling Violetta back into the room and reading her rights. Prime Minister, Jenkins said, I think it's about time you faced your public. Yes, they have taken Violetta to prison. That's where she belongs. And Thursday, but I might read it tomorrow, is our last chapter, and then we're finished. I'm very excited to see how this book ends. Let's wait and see for tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed that chapter, and I will see you later. Bye, superstars.